Welcome to our channel. In this session, we are going to discuss about references in Java. Now, before going to references, first you need to know what is relations in Java. Relations means simply the process of interlinking the components. The process of interlinking the components in Java is called is called relations. In Java, relations are divided into three types. Among them, one is references, second one is inheritance, third one is inner classes. Third one is inner classes. Anyway, we already discussed the concept of inheritance. Now, first we will discuss references and then we will move to inner classes. Now, coming to references. So, references means simply the process in which simple thing, one object holding the reference of another object. Understand the point? Here, assume we have two objects are there. One object hold the reference of another object is called references. In the simple thing, the references is called object interlinking process. Yes or no? Object interlinking. See, multiple objects are combined. How they are combined? If one object refer the another object means automatically they are linked. What is the advantage? A simple thing. The methods. What is the advantage? The methods of one object. One object methods can use the members of another object. So one object have some members or some methods. That methods can use the members of another object. This is the main advantage of references. For your understanding, I will explain the concept of references with one example program. First, write down one example by using Eclipse. Now, file, new, create one project, Java project. Assume the project name is references underscore Java. This is my project name. You can give any name. That is not a problem. My project name is references underscore Java. Now, under this one, first to create one package, new package. Assume the name of the package is some pack1. Within pack1, new, create one class. For simplicity, I am using one class, some address. Anyway, we'll explain diagrammatically. Assume one class address. Under the same pack1, I create one class. For example, contact. You can take any classes. Just for user details, I used one class name as address. That means the address class consists of the address of a person. Contact. Contact in the sense it consists of the contact number. Suppose either mail ID, phone number, etc. Now, create one more class. For example, these are the information related to student. You can create a class student. Okay, fine. Now, first to coming to address class. Within this class, what I am doing? Public string. Whatever the details you want, you can write all the details. House number. And suppose if you want name, name of the student. If you want city, city. If you want state, you can write state. And if you want pin code number, you will write the pin code also, pin code, whatever it is. Like this, you can take some variables. Now the address class consists of these variables. Save. Coming to contact, here also you can take any members. For example, public string, some mail id. Mail id is one variable. Next, if you want public phone number, generally the contact class consists of these two. Assume these two variables. Okay, fine. These two are the classes. Now coming to student class. Within the student class, what I am doing? Suppose public string, some id, comma, name. Suppose check here, already we given the name. Okay. Here this is street name. Assume this is street name. Here you are taking the variable id, comma, name. Now I created a main class. Observe my diagram internally. I created an object for the main class. So the object for the student, this student internally calls another one. You got it? No. Suppose see this one. Address. Some AD is equal to new address of. I created an object for the address. Here AD is an object. AD is an object. Similarly, public. So what is my another class name? Contact. Some contact is equal to new contact of. Right now, I created two objects. If you want, you can use some message. Public string to string. Generally, this is the method for displaying. Just for displaying, I used this toString method. Return all the values. How? How to return all the values? Understand carefully. Return ID plus, sorry, not enter, plus give some tab space. Next, name, give some tab space, plus here ID and name, fine. Next to what you want, you need these 5 terms. But where these 5 are available, those are accessed by using address object. Accessed by using address object. Now, AD dot address dot house number. You got the point? T. AD dot S name plus AD dot, what are the other fields you given? ID, sorry, house number, name, and suppose city, whatever you given, city, T plus AD dot state, AD dot state plus. So AD dot, another one is under the address, another one is pin code plus. Now, these 5 are the variables from the address. How do I access? By using address object. Similarly, CT dot. So, under the contact, I have 2 variables. One is mail ID. Mail ID. CT dot. CT dot. Phone number. Semicolon. Close. Now, you observe. Here what happened? Understand carefully. Now I create another package. Anyway, I will explain diagrammatically. First to follow the program. Assume the package name is some pack2. Within the pack, create one class. The class name is demo references main. First step, import pack1 dot star. Meaning is The pack 1 consists of 3 classes: address, contact to student. All the 3 classes are available to this package. Now import java.util.star. Now within this one, what is the first step? Basically create an object, new scanner of system.in. Fine. S capital. Now, read all the values step by step. How do we access? By creating an object. Anyway, if you create an object for the address, we can access these fields. Create an object for the contact, these fields. But right now, what I am doing? Here I am creating an object. Student OB is equal to new student of. Here I created an object for student class. Sorry, for student class. You got my point? Now, system dot out dot println, enter student ID. So, enter student ID. Simply, OB dot my variable name is ID is equal to SC dot next to line of fine. Student ID is okay. Next to student, here in the student, what I given? Student name. Whatever you are given, write down. Not a problem. Enter student name. So OB name is equal to SC dot next line. Fine. Now understand, this student internally consists of 2 more variables. ID name generally normal variables. Here AD and CT are non-primitive data type variables. Simply an object. Now, how can we access? For example, enter house number. The house number is available in the address. How do we access? First, OB dot the address object AD dot HNO house number. Now you understand how to access? By using OB, we can access student. Internally, by using AD, we can access address. We can access address. Enter house number. Like this. For example, enter street name OB dot AD dot street name. Now, OB dot enter city. Here, city. Next to state. State. Last one, pin code. Last one, pin code. So, enter pin code. So, pin code. What is the name I given? Use that name only, pin code. So, instead of reading this one, you can write integer dot parse int of. Actually, pin code is written in the form of long. SC dot, sorry, SC dot. Okay. Now I am reading all the 5 variables, all the 5 variables of the address. Similarly, you need to read the details of contact. So system dot out dot println, enter mail ID. So OB dot by using CT, mail ID is a string. Now enter phone number. Enter phone number. So OB dot CT dot. So my variable name is PHNO is equal to SC dot next to line of. Okay. By this, I am reading all the information. Finally, print the data. System dot out dot println ob dot toString sc dot close the scanner class object. Save, run the program. Enter student ID. Suppose student ID is 1. Enter student name. Enter student house number. Enter street name. Enter city. Enter state. Enter pin code. Enter mail ID. Enter phone number. Here I am not using any condition. This is the details of student 1. This is the details. Whatever the details you entered, you get. Suppose if you written inside the for loop, you can write any number of details. Now, observe what happens here. What happened here? First, coming to main method. Coming to main method. Within the main method, you are creating an object for the student class. You are creating an object for the student class. Yes or no? So, student, some OB is equal to new student of. Internally, that student consists of, whenever you are creating an object, some memory is allocated. So, this is the memory. So within this one, the instance members are stored. What is the first member? ID. Yes or no? Student ID. Assume initially the value is equal to null. Student name. The value is equal to null. Next to what is available? Whenever you are creating an object, the members of the student is loaded. So within the student, the next one is this one. Address AD is equal to new address. Whenever this statement means internally an address object is created. Internally, assume this is some address, house number, street name, city, state, pin code, initial with some value. Pin code is equal to 0. The string have default value null. You are not given any value, null. Now at this position, this address is stored. Now you got this point. Some AD is equal to. In the next step, you are creating contact. So immediately one object contact is created. Mail ID is equal to null. Phone number is equal to 0. This address is 0xct is equal to 0x44. Now toString method. Now here what you observe, whenever you are calling ob.id, this is executed, ob.name, this is executed, but this is available, this one. So ob.ad.house number. What you observe, one method or this class, student class, use the reference in another class. Use the references of another class. This is the concept of reference. Generally, the references are divided into two types. One is tightly coupled references. Second one is loosely coupled references. Tightly coupled means the references concept in which simple thing interlinking of dependent objects. Interlinking of dependent objects is called tightly coupled references. Loosely coupled means interlink independent object. Interlinking independent object is called loosely coupled. First, what is mean by dependent object? Simple thing. So The objects are generated. Objects are generated when we create another object. When we create another object. For example, consider this example. When AD is generated, whenever we are creating an object for the student, internally the student creates AD object, the student creates CT object. So the objects are generated when we create another object. Such type of objects are called dependent object. Now for tightly coupled, what is the example? Whatever the example we written, address, contact, student, that is tightly coupled. Now, what about independent object? Simply, the objects are generated without depends on another object. Without depending on another object, the objects are generated. Those are called independent object. For example, reader-writer problem. For example, assume this is some string buffer object. Assume this is some string buffer object. One writer class is there. Writer class write the information into the buffer, and we have one more class. Assume the reader class is there. The reader class reads the information. In this, the writer does not depends on the reader. The reader does not depends on the writer. So reader reads the information from the buffer object. Writer writes the information into the buffer object only. Write the information into the buffer object only. You got it? So this is independent or. Now we have the concept of arrays. Arrays is implemented with references concept also. Now consider the same program. So what is the program we discussed? Address, contact, student. The same program we will implement with arrays. So arrays with reference concept. Open this one. So the first one is address.java. Assume it consists of house number, street name, city, state, pin code. Another one, contact, mail ID, phone number. For example, student. So everything is same. Coming to here, we are using, instead of in the previous example, only one detail, only one student detail or only one customer detail. Here, instead of this one, I am using the concept of array. How? System dot out dot println, enter the number of, so you can use student, number of students, int sum n is equal to integer dot parseInt of sc dot next line. Now student, instead of single one, you can create like this. Student some ob of is equal to new student of n. Student ob of is equal to new student of n. Now system dot out dot println, enter student details. So n is equal to 3 means enter 3 student details like this. Now first one, within the for loop, yes or no? Within the for loop, same program how to implement for arrays. For I is equal to 0, I less than ob dot length I plus plus, open the bracket. Now student details, just to for your understanding, I written the statement like this. System dot out dot println student details plus I plus 1. That is which student details? Student 1, student 2, student 3. For that purpose only I written. System dot out dot println enter student ID. No. For example, use some name, so C, some C. Why in the sense here I need to create an array. that is object OB, suppose C of, what is the reason? Nothing. Already OB is there, so no need to change. Now OB of I is equal to new student of, simple thing. Instead of creating a single object, here I am creating an array of objects. So first to enter the student ID. Next, OB of I dot ID is equal to next line. Enter student name. So for each and everything, we are adding OB of I. So student 0, student 1, student 2, and so on. I think you got it. The concept is very simple. Previously, I created for one person, that is one student. Now I created the same thing for multiple students. Now OB.toString, instead of printing directly OB.toString, again you need to print by using for loop. You need to print by using for loop. So system.out.println, the details are for student some K. My object name is OB. System.out.println OB.toString. Here this is not required. Close this for loop, close this previous for loop, and then close this sc.close. Save, run. Error is there. What is the error? This one. Fine. Save, run this program. Enter number of students. Suppose number of students are 2. So first to enter student details 1. Enter student ID 1. Enter student name. Enter student house number. For example, S1, whatever it is. Enter street name. Enter city. Enter state. Enter pin code. Enter mail ID. Enter phone number. So the details are, so these are the details. Now enter student ID 2. So here observe what happened. Student 1 at the rate of, it reads to some other information. What happened here? Anyway, I will explain. Enter student ID 2. Enter student ID 2. Like this, you can enter all this information. Now, coming to this program. Here what happened? Here you need to close this for loop here. Yes or no? After reading two data, then only you are allowed to print the value. Reading two data, then only you are allowed to print the value. That is the problem. Number of students 2. So student ID, student name, student house number, you can give anything randomly. No. Now see this one, student details 2. Again, give any random numbers. Sorry, for pin code, you need to enter integer. Anyway, you got it? This is the way to write the references. Now you understand, by using one information, that is one method, we can access another one. Okay, that's the end of references in Java. Thank you.